The last topic for complex numbers is dividing complex numbers, and we're going to see a little bit of this later on towards Unit 4, I believe, or maybe 5. So with dividing complex numbers, whatever's on top doesn't really matter. It's really about what's on the bottom. And we naturally just kind of want to divide the real numbers, divide the complex numbers, and move on. But we actually have to multiply. So to divide complex numbers, we actually have to multiply the top and the bottom. Top and bottom by the complex conjugate, which again is kind of like the opposite. Multiply the top and the bottom by the complex conjugate of the bottom. The fancy word, oh my lordy, this is driving me crazy. Okay, try this one more time. The fancy word for what this is called rationalize. Rationalize. We're going to rationalize the denominator. What again that means is multiply the top and the bottom by the complex conjugate of the bottom. That's called rationalizing the denominator. The reason we have to do this is because in algebra we do not like square roots on the denominator. It's considered improper. So I is actually a square root, so we cannot have it on the denominator. Otherwise, if this was an x or something else, it'd be fine. But if there's a square root on the denominator, we're not okay with that. It is not mathematically proper. Okay, so we're going to multiply, and it's all about the denominator. We're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate of the denominator. So instead of 3 minus 5i, we're going to do 3 plus 5i. 3 plus 5i. It's about the denominator, the conjugate of the denominator. Then we're going to clean up the numerator, and we'll clean up the denominator, and we should get down to an answer that might still be a fraction, but there won't be any more square roots on the denominator. So 8 times 3, I'm going to write it down, is 24. 8 times 5i is 40i. 2i times 3 is 6i. And 2i times 5i is 10i squared. That's the top. On the bottom, we have 3 times 3, which is 9. Now, as you get better at this, you'll see that 3 times 5i is going to zero out with 5i times 3 because of the positive and the negative. So if you're thinking about FOIL, the O and the I are going to zero out. So we just really have to do the F and the L, which is the first and the last. You are welcome to write the middle, but the middle is going to zero out every single time because we're doing that on purpose. So really, we're just going to do first and last. So last would be negative 5i times positive 5i, which is negative 25i squared. So technically we're FOILing, but the inside outside are going to zero out every time because we made it do that on purpose. Okay, so the top cleans up to 14 plus 46i. I'll explain the 14 in just a second. The bottom becomes 9 plus 25. So let me explain both of those here. Anytime you see I squared, it's going to change the sign of that number. So plus 10i squared is going to become minus 10. And you've got a 24 minus 10, which is where I'm getting that 14 from. Same idea here. I squared becomes negative 1, it always changes that sign. It was negative because we had a negative times a positive, but now that I squared is going to change it to a positive. You'll get better at that. Just keep practicing, keep writing it out. You'll get better at that. So we have 14 plus 46i over 34. Now this looks like what we saw earlier where we have to separate it out and reduce it. So this is going to become 14 over 34 plus 46 over 34 with an I at the end, which reduces to 7 over 17 plus 23 over 17 with an I. So this is going to be your final answer for that first one. Okay, moving on to the next one. We haven't seen this in our class yet, but hopefully you're familiar with what a negative exponent does. If not, we'll talk all about that in the next unit. But for now, if you see a -1 exponent, what that means is that it's 1 over 2 plus radical 3i. The radical is not over the I, right? The I is outside of that radical. So that -1 means put this on the denominator, 1 over that. Well, now we have a problem because we have a radical and another radical on that denominator. So we're going to rationalize, and the word is rationalize, the denominator by multiplying the top and the bottom by the conjugate. So this is 2 plus radical 3i. We're going to multiply by 2 minus radical 3i. Don't like when it drags like that. 2 minus radical 3i. There we go. Now 1 times that is just itself. On the bottom, we can kind of shortcut. Because 1 is plus and 1 is minus, the inside outside are going to zero out. So we can do first and we can do last. I don't want you to get in the habit of doing that all the time. It is only because of the conjugate. If it was not a conjugate, we cannot do that. So 2 minus radical 3i on the top. 2 times 2 is 4. Positive radical 3 times negative radical 3 is going to be -3. I'm going to explain that over here. Radical 3 times radical 3 is radical 9. The square root of 9 is 3. A square root times itself is like squaring it, right? So squaring a square root, so you just get rid of it. And then I squared. Didn't want to forget about that. So radical 3, positive radical 3 times negative radical 3 is -3. I times I is I squared. Okay, so once again, I squared changes to -1, and it's going to change that sign. So we have 2 minus radical 3i over 4 plus 3, which is 7. So our answer is going to be 2 over 7 minus radical 3 over 7i. And I'm doing a lot of little steps here. You'll get better at this and you can kind of do a couple steps at the same time, but I'm doing a bunch of steps at the same time. All right, last one here. Part C. If I go too fast on a video, remember you can always pause and go back. I wish we could do that in class, but we can't. Anyway, so this one is -2 over 5i. Now there's not two terms here, so we can't really do the conjugate. But remember, this is 5 times the square root of -1. So there's a couple things we can do here. Oh, don't do that. Your book just multiplies by I over I, because the only part that's the radical is the I. You could just do I. If you feel better, you can do 5I. You just want to multiply both by 5I. You could do negative 5I. The focus is where the radical is. So technically, all you have to do is multiply by I, because it's the radical rather that's the problem, not the 5. A 5 can be on the denominator, no big deal. But because it's being multiplied by I, that's the I is the problem. Okay, stop talking about that. So negative 2I over 5I squared. You want to start to catch as soon as you write I squared, it automatically, every single time, no exception, becomes negative 1. So 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Those negatives divide off, and you're left with 2I over 5. Positive 2I over 5. Okay, that's it. So complex conjugate, the opposite sign on the denominator, it zeroes out the middle, which gives us just an integer on the denominator, and then you clean it up and write your answer. Go ahead and try SP8 by pausing the video, and I will write the answers down so you can check yourself. So that should be negative 32 over 53 plus 47 over 53I. If any of these you want some more details on, I'm happy to share. That negative 1, remember, puts that on the denominator. And then you have to rationalize. You should get 5 over 32 minus radical 7 over 32I. And on the last one, you can just multiply by I, or you can multiply by 10I, or you can multiply by negative 10I, whatever makes the most sense to you. And you should get positive 7 over 10I. The simplest thing is just multiply by I over I to cancel out the i's, or to multiply out, I guess, the i's. All right, that is complex numbers. Hopefully some of that has been familiar, but we won't go too deep into complex numbers, but we are going to see them on and off throughout the rest of the course.